Now we're going to be installing a tool called Asset Finder. So in previous videos, we use Sublister to find subdomains. It's okay. It was good when it first came out, and it was ahead of its time, honestly. But now it's just all right. And there's better tools out there, and I want to introduce you to those. So Asset Finder is a great tool at finding subdomains. So we're going to go ahead and just type in Asset Finder, and we should be finding Tom Nom Nom here. Tom is a great guy. He's a great programmer, great bug bounty hunter. He makes awesome tools. Asset Finder is one of them. So go ahead and just click on Asset Finder and scroll down. And what we're going to do is we're just going to highlight this, copy it, and we're going to open up a terminal. And all we got to do is paste this in the terminal and hit enter. And now Asset Finder should be installed. You start typing it and then just tab, Asset Finder is there. So let's take a look at what Asset Finder can do. So if we say Asset Finder and we say tesla.com, okay, look how fast that worked. Let's put this to a file. Let's just call this Tesla subs.txt. And it's quick. And then we can cat Tesla subs.txt and we can just say word count, and we'll do a -L to count 347. All right, and okay, there are some repeats, as you can see here, so it's not going to be completely unique, but still 347 really fast. Now the one thing that this is doing is it's not taking out only the subs, right? So you could see if we look through here, there's like berkeley.edu. It's also finding assets related to Tesla or that should or might be owned by Tesla. However, we don't always want this in here. So what we can do is we could say Asset Finder subs only. So only if it's related to that subdomain, tesla.com, and that will pull down only related to it. Now, what I have actually found is that it's better to run Asset Finder like this and then later grep out the subdomains. So that's my opinion. And let's start writing a tool that's going to do this for us. So I'm going to open a new tab and we're going to automate as we go. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to say gedit and we're just going to call this run.sh. And the first thing we're going to do here is we're just going to shebang on bin bash. And I want to declare a variable of URL because that's what we're going to be providing. And we'll make URL equal to $1, meaning the first argument, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to say, we're going to use Asset Finder. So let's make a couple tabs down here, and we're just going to say echo, and we can make this pretty, something like this. We'll say harvesting subdomains with Asset Finder. Okay, and then we can just declare what we're going to do. So we're going to say Asset Finder and URL. And now I want to put this into a folder. So let's make it for the URL. And let's call this, let's call it recon, and we'll call this file assets.txt. So we're going to put everything into assets.txt. Now, the issue here is we don't have a folder called recon, nor do we have a folder for our URL, so we have to make that. So the easy way to do this is to make an if statement that looks something like this. We can say if, and then we could say does not have a folder, okay, of URL. Then we're going to go ahead and just make that folder. So we'll say then, and then we're going to go ahead and just say make dir of URL. So if the directory doesn't exist of our URL, we're going to go ahead and make it. And guess what? If the directory does not exist of URL and then recon, we're going to go ahead and just make that as well. So we'll say then make dir URL recon, and then end if there. So that's the first part. So we're gonna take Asset Finder and we're going to look for the assets. Now, we only want subs in here, right? Only the subdomains related to our scope. We don't want to go out of scope. So if our client is Tesla.com, then we want to stay in Tesla.com's subdomains. So what can we do here? Well, we can go ahead and sort this out. So we can say something like cat, and we'll say URL recon assets.text. And we're going to just grep out $1. So whatever we put in there, Tesla.com, we're only going to grep out what's in there, which is Tesla.com. Or we could do grep of URL, right? Let's put this into something like this. We'll put it into a new document. We'll call it recon, and we'll call it final.text, just like this. Okay, and we'll go ahead and just remove the file we just created, which was URL recon assets.text. And then we should have a final.text stored in that folder. So all we've done so far is make a couple directories, and then we're going to go ahead and run Asset Finder. We're going to put it all into assets.text, and then we're going to sort that out, put it into final.text, and remove assets.text. So let's save this, and let's go ahead and just run this. And what we'll do is it should make the folder here for recon for it. So ls, just to prove concept that it's not here as of right now. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to say chmod plus x on run.sh, and we'll say tesla.com. Line 3, command not found. I messed up here. Apologies. See, I'm terrible sometimes at this. URL equals $1. Okay, let's control C this. Let's try running it one more time. There we go. So this will attempt now to run and harvest this. If we ls, we should have the folder here for tesla.com, which we do. You see tesla.com. If we cd into tesla.com/recon, we ls in here, we have final.text, which let's just gedit to make it easier. And we come through here, and now everything is related to tesla.com. We don't see anything in here that's not tesla.com. Okay, and we're still going to have potential repeats. We'll get rid of that as the script goes on. But for now, we have all of these subdomains available to us. Now we're going to have to take the next step from here and improve upon this to find what's actually out there and alive. So let's go ahead and do that in the next video.